Okay, me again. Right, we're on to this guy now. Straight into it. Yep, like I said, they arrived today. Only a handful of people have reviewed these thus far, so I thought I'd strike while the iron was hot and get them reviewed. And there we are inside the box. As you can see, you've got Sideload. You've got the shoulder piece, which goes across the top, has the Gestalt head and the attachment points for the arm units, and then we've got these knee joints which join Sideload to the leg members, and he's got a gun as well. Right, so we've got this blue gun. It's some sort of multi-barreled, like a Gatling gun, minigun type thing, and it has a square peg, and then you can flip out, and the barrel does rotate as well. Got the got the knee joints. These go between the leg mounts on Sideload and the grind rod and Aurora as the legs. They have a little pegged flap on the front and on the sides, so I assume you slot them into their car modes and then trap them around them. And then we've got a really heavy ratchet, and there's no rotational joint on that, and then obviously you get two of those, and they are, as far as I can see, they're exactly the same, apart from you could say one's left and one's right-handed. And then we've got the shoulder piece. This obviously just clips over the top. You've got the again, heavy duty ratchets there. You clip the arm units on, and you've got your rotational joint and ratcheted shoulder joint. Really heavy duty ratchet. And then you've got the head sculpt of the Gestalt, which, as with all the others, has got epic light piping. Quite stiff to turn, but he does have a bit of an up and down nod. Not much of a down nod, but he can sort of go up, down a little bit, as because his chin's almost hitting the plate it's sat on. But yeah, there's that. And then we also have instructions and the trading card. And then finally we have Sideload. Now it's obviously based on some armoured truck, armoured sort of carrier, military sort of sort of armour, sort of things that went out into Afghanistan with the US forces. I'm not sure what the actual name of this type of vehicle is, but someone will tell me. Is it Jackal or something like that? It's got rolling wheels. It's got wing mirrors. The plastic this thing's moulded from is, again, it's got swirls in it, but it has got a kind of a metallic sheen, sort of like a goldy orange metallic sheen to it. It's quite heavy, quite solid, this vehicle mode, and he's also rather large, but then again he is in effect a Voyager figure. Lots of moulding detail. Got like red lights made out of transparent plastic. Yeah, right. So transformation on this guy. I have seen Piau's transformation on this guy. The legs are fairly straightforward, but the upper torso is an absolute mare. There's lots of very small pieces that have to twist round, and there's very, very tight clearances between the bits as they twizzle round. It's mostly these rear wheel arch guards. So, as with Shinebug, this is my first hands-on with this mould. You've literally just saw me get it straight out of the packet. Never played with it before. I'm just going to try and transform it without the aid of, you know, instructions or internet. So this might take a while. Okay. Okay, this is the next day. I did originally record the review in one go, but when I look back at the footage, well, I ran out of time to you know, edit it, process it, put it up on YouTube last night. So I'm having to do this on the Friday rather than the Thursday, and I didn't do a very good job of summing up the character, in my opinion, on on the video. I also did an extra bit where I show the gestalt, which I am going to tack on the end of this video. But anyway, I decided to have another go. I've had a bit more playtime with this, and I'm getting to know its little eccentricities a bit better, and I've sussed out how you're supposed to peg in the backpack a bit more securely. So let's have another chat about Sideload. Yeah, he's I'm really liking this guy. He's a big bot. I mean, let's do a size comparison. G1 Soundwave. Okay, he's bigger than G1 Soundwave. Classic Seeker mould. There you go, next to a Classic Seeker. And the one I did yesterday. Universe Onslaught. Now, he's virtually the same size as Onslaught, which means Onslaught's an Ultra, which means this guy is Ultra scale. And when I stuck him on my bot shelf last night. I had to make a space for him with the other Toyworld bots that I've got, and he just he just towers above them. Even without sticking on a bit of booster wood so that he can show his face above all the bots in front of him. He is a big chunky bot, and I'm really digging him. Really digging this guy. So I need to sum this up pretty quick because it took me about 9 minutes yesterday. See if I can do it a bit quicker today. Yeah, let's just go over the articulation basics. The head is on a ball joint, bit of side tilt, forwards, lot of back, turns all the way around. As you can see, got epic light piping. Trust me, it's got epic light piping, as all these Toyworld bots have. Now the shoulders, these bits on the back are actually pegged into his into this shoulder piece. Now the shoulder piece does that. Right, it's on a separate hinge. It has got a peg where it pegs in to the side, and it doesn't always line up, but that does that. And then the arm can go round. Quite stiff ratchets on this. You can go backwards that far and forwards about that far. Got an upper arm swivel. Got a double elbow, that means you can get a little bit more than 90 degrees. The fist doesn't. Oh yeah, the fist does rotate. There you go. The fist does go around, but you have to pull them out because they slide into the arms, like so. You have to pull them all the way out, and then they will rotate. It has got these panels on the back of the arm which are held on by a ball jointed strut. They don't really peg in securely, and when you're moving the arm they do have a tendency to pop off quite regularly, so that's something to be aware of. He has got a waist joint that's quite stiff. And then we get down to the lower extremities. Now the legs do wobble. That's because of these two joints here and here, which do that. They're part of the combiner transformation. But when they're in straight ahead mode, there is a bit of give and play in them. The knees, well, the thighs go out to 90 degrees, so you can do a Van Damme if he wants to. Can do the splits. The legs, they go forwards that far and they go back that far. He does have a lower thigh swivel. Now the knees are, like I said, they're quite strange. They're on an L-shaped joint. So the pivot is actually about here, but when you bend the knee, and it's a very tight ratchet because it's one of those joints that, well, actually no, it isn't. I don't know why it's that tight, because it isn't part of the combiner transformation. But you can see the leg wants to do that. It wants to fold in as for the part of the transformation joint. This L-shaped piece does not lock into place, which is a bit awkward. And it's because the ratchet's quite tight, it's difficult to get it in position straight up. And then we get to the feet. Now, feet are a bit awkward on this. He's got the toe pieces, which are just on these ball jointed struts. They're pivoted and they're ball jointed, so that's the toe. You can get twist and you can up and down as much movement as you want. But no, they don't really have much force. They're like placeholders. The real meat and potatoes of his heels is this black piece, which again is also on a ball jointed strut. That too can move about any which way you want. Then you've got the blue piece, which is the slot for the combiner. This does not actually peg into that. It just sort of rests against it. And then you can get a bit of flex in the heel if you so require. But you have to mess around with them a little bit in order to get his feet properly planted. So, there we go. He's, like I said, he's a very big, imposing bot. He's full-on Henchatron. He's a massive guy, and I look at him and I just think, if you painted him blue and white, he would easily pass, and gave him a different head sculpt, he'd easily pass for breakdown of Transformers Prime, I think. So, yeah. I'm digging him loads. So, yesterday I had a look at the Gestalt mode, -2 limbs. So, if you look at this next clip, that's what I did. Okay, I'm back. Quite a while messing around, trying to get him into there. Well, you basically have to take them back to vehicle mode before you turn them into limb mode. So here we have Aurora with the knee joint and the foot plate on. Here's Trace in his arm mode, and finally the big fella, wide load with Goldbug on the back. So let's put this thing together. Obviously I've only got one leg. There's a slot in the back of the foot, which one would assume that just slides onto there. And then the arm, you've got 2 pegs on the inside of the arm, 2 pegs on the elbow socket. There's a lot of round pegs on this thing that hold it together. And there we have a one-armed and one-legged Toyworld Gestalt. Obviously I can't really do a lot. Articulation in the arm is on that joint, and then, well, that's not really. And then you got that. Obviously the elbow, yeah. Oh, hang on, I wonder it won't fit in. I've got it the wrong way around. Notice how that's angled and that's angled. Right. That's in now. Obviously, like Combiner Wars figures, the waist joint is the upper arm swivel, and the elbow joint. And the fist, again, fairly articulated. The leg, obviously the thigh shield moves out the way. It doesn't quite go 90 forwards. It'll go just over 90 in reverse. Now there is a leg upper thigh swivel. As you can see, this bit just popped off. And then there's a elbow, knee joint, nice ratcheted knee, and then obviously you've got the ankle tilt. Yeah, so there he is. I know it's not complete, and really I should have waited until I got the remaining figures, but I couldn't resist just building it up with the bits that I've got. So we need to do a size comparison, and here he is next to MPO1 Prime. Quite big, quite large. And this is one of the biggest bots I've got. I've got a couple of bots that are bigger than this, but yeah, it's quite tall. Here's a 12-inch ruler, You can see it just about comes up to his shoulder. So it's about 13 and a half inches from flat of the foot to the top of the horns tall. But there you go. This guy at the moment, as far as I'm aware, hasn't got an official name. But I've had a quick look on the TFW 2005, and there's been some people have been suggesting some fan names for it. Throttle Kaiser 7 seems to be one of the more popular ones. Guardrail is another one that's been mentioned. One of my personal favourites is Pile Up. I think Pile Up is a very appropriate name for this guy, considering it's just basically just a pile of vehicles all merged together. But yeah, and you can see I can hold him. Will he stand by himself? Yeah, he can stand on one leg. So the joints are quite sturdy. I mean, what was that? Yeah, it's got, you know, nice sturdy joints. And very impressive in the Gestalt mode, I must say. Obviously, I still need grind rod, still need expressway. So it's incomplete, but I just couldn't resist putting it together as it is. I mean, he can do the Van Dams if he so wants. So yeah, it's quite cool. I'm glad I went for it, and I just hope that I'm able to get the remaining parts. I've got Expressway pre-ordered, but it's just if I can get a bloody grind rod. And I'm scouring eBay. I've got an eBay search going for grind rod, and when they do come up, they just go for a ridiculous premium, and I refuse to pay it. But I might have to bite the bullet and just pay the asking price, because unless Toyworld reissue grind rod or a knockoff company starts churning them out, there's an opening there for a knockoff company to start churning out knockoff grind rods, and people will just snap them up. But there you go, that's me. This is my review of, well, him. So what do you think? Anyway, that's me signing off. I'll see you guys whenever. Bye.